I fucking hate Hamilton. So, I was introduced to Hamilton through animatics. Specifically one YouTuber whose Hamilton stuff was really popular. I'm not gonna name them because I'm about to shit all over this musical in about 2 seconds. But their animatics were really good. It was giving style, it was giving technique, all of it, so impressive. And they made a lot for Hamilton. I hope I'm not giving too much away, but somebody made like a compilation called Hamilton as an animatic, and it was like all their shit. So my dumb ass was taken in. I was fooled by the animation, the beautiful fucking artwork. It was like it acted like a glamour almost. I really considered the musical to be so much better than it was, because I actually see this thing and halfway through I'm getting mad. I'm pissed because number one, the structure is shit and there's no animation to make up for it, girl. When you watch an animatic, specifically a musical animatic, it usually just features the music, right? It doesn't contain most of the spoken dialogue, the setup, or the plot information that is present in the actual play.
Please let it be a fantasy. Tell me that you wanna grow old with me. Here I am.
But obviously the full musical has more context and more meat. This is not the case for Hamilton. Hamilton is just music. They never speak. That's why it doesn't feel like there's an actual story going on. The events and even the songs barely seem connected to one another because the story is never given the chance to just breathe. It's just, okay, we gotta get to the next song. Let's get to this song now. Let's move on. What the fuck? And it's not like I'm against them singing. I know it's a musical, but to never talk? What the hell? I mean, talking is there to contrast the singing. When a character sings in a musical, it's because they're feeling something big or something important is happening to them. The singing highlights these feelings, these moments. You can't do it all the time. You also just miss out on potentially interesting character moments. For example, when two characters are having a fight and one of them starts singing, know some shit's about to go down. Even better, one of them is singing and the other one is still talking to them in response. Nigga, that says so much about the character. And Hamilton just says, fuck all of that. Sing all the time. And it's so funny because the only reason I sought out the musical was because the animatics made me curious about the context that I was missing. And then I watched that shit and it had nothing to add. Okay, the music. It's good, but like, come on. First of all, it's wildly overrated. Specifically by white people. Especially when it first came out. The rap is bad. Point blank, period. I mean, it's good if you never heard rap before in your entire life. But listen to Meg Thee Stallion one time and tell me that shit's good. Tell me it compares. It doesn't. And we need to talk about the fact that we let this non-black man write rap songs about characters who were real-life white supremacist slave owners. And then he tried to get away with it by having an all-black main cast. That was a major sign to me that this musical is made for white people. More on that later. You mean to tell me I'm just supposed to accept you rapping about how great George fucking Washington was? When the fucker literally pulled the teeth out of his own sleighs for his dentures? Okay. Also, I know not everyone's gonna agree with me on this. And by everyone, I mean everyone black, nigga. You're non-black, you don't get to have an opinion on this. But rap is for black people. And black people only. If you're non-black, you should not rap. Nor can you. I don't believe you're capable of it. Yeah, that shit's cultural appropriation. I know y'all love to pretend like black Americans have no culture, and since we invented that shit, it's just up for grabs. But no, that's our shit, and y'all aren't even good at it. Rap was literally invented to express the trauma inflicted upon us through anti-black oppression. And of course, even now that the genre's grown and there's now a wide spectrum of experiences being expressed, those experiences are still fucking black. Non-black people have no right to encroach on this fucking space. Get the fuck out. And like I said, y'all can't rap. Compare Lin-Manuel Miranda's flow to any other black person. You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy. This musical is for white people. It pretends like it's integrating black actors and audiences into the theater scene, but what it's really doing is pandering to white audiences and uplifting several white supremacist legacies within its own text. It just uses black bodies to do so that the white audience members can pat themselves on the back while the monkeys dance. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, my bad. But I think the most egregious offense out of all of this is that the show was completely inaccessible to black audiences the entire time it was running. The pricing was insane in comparison to most shows, and theaters are already super unavailable to people without money, and here you are, literally with a show about the people who made black people so poor through slavery. And you're just not gonna find a workaround so that black people can see it. I remember the first time I ever saw Wicked, and this is the first musical I've ever seen, by the way. And it was like, and I've been wanting to see it for years because, like, I love The Wizard of Oz. But the whole reason I got to see it was because my mom and I won one of those ticket lotteries where you stand out in the cold and they call your name. And they did. So those ticket prices are already steep as hell, right? Now imagine you don't live anywhere near wherever the production is being put on. So you have to pay for transportation, you have to pay for rooming, you have to pay for those tickets, and you have to pay to go back. What? And to top it all off, I'm pretty sure Hamilton became the most expensive musical on Broadway. So this nigga's sitting up here getting rich off of rap and black talent. Meanwhile, black people can't even see his play. Lin-Manuel Miranda was also notoriously hard on bootlegs for Hamilton, which I'm proud to admit is how I watched it for the first and only time, nigga. And my message to the entire theater community is, if you don't want niggas to bootleg, then tape your shit and sell it. Like, every bitch can't go to your live show. Let's be real. And some of these bootlegs are trash. Like, we would love to see a professionally recorded performance. And it's not like people aren't gonna go to your live shit, because that's where the meat of that's where the tea is at, girl. A lot of these classist ass and ableist, to be honest, fucking theater hoes love to pretend like the fucking art of theater will die out if we don't all go see the shows in person. But yeah, went off script for a second there, but I was going to say, That exact thing. He could have recorded the show and then sold it for a much lower price, like Star Kid does. Well, I think they do it for free because they're cool, but he could have sold it for less. But no, that shit was impossible until COVID happened, and now his shit is on Disney Plus, which is very fitting for the white supremacist musical to end up on the ultra-capitalist, I steal from small and fan creators and only ever begrudgingly represent groups other than cishet white people mega corporation. But now that it'll literally kill people to go see his fuck-ass show, let's sell some recordings now. Oh, okay. My final point is that if Hamilton never existed, I never would have seen them cringe-ass Lin-Manuel Miranda lip-biting photos. I mean, they would still be there, but I wouldn't know about them.